hands in the air if you's a true player. I love it when you call me Big Papa. To the honeys getting money, playing niggas like dummies. I love it when you call me Big Papa. You got a gun up.
So through my videos, what I've been leading up to is really kind of like the growing tension and rivalry between East and West Coast hip hop. And as this kind of played on, I feel like the climax of like East Coast versus West Coast hip hop kind of happened during or when Tupac and Biggie Smalls were like the top rap like artists at the time. So today I'm actually going to be talking about Biggie Smalls' Ready to Die. So this album, it kind of counteracts the whole concept of the West Coast, because the West Coast was really known for commercializing the gangster life, kind of like showing how being a gangster is like cool and it's fun, and like you get a lot of money and girls, and like they glamorizes like drugs and violence. Why this album was so different, so influential, is because for the first time you kind of see that there isn't a glamorification of living as a gangster like at all. So the themes within this album, so because this album's like main storyline is Biggie Smalls talking about, you know, living as a young drug dealer within New York City and within like the drug trade game. The themes in this album are really, really dark, and they're really, really depressing. It's highly different from like the West Coast. The West Coast is all about like the commercialization and like the luxurious life of being a gangster. However, Biggie Smalls is all about the truth of it. So it's a really personally revealing album, and it's really like dark, and it wasn't suitable for the radio at all. I think only like one song made it on the radio, and that was Big Papa, which was also like the most famous song from this album. But overall, the album was like kind of like a really dark story of, you know, being involved within the crime in New York, and he talks about suicide, and there's like a lot of violence. So it's a really like inner, emotionally and personally revealing album as what it was like, the truth of living as a gangster. Because it was so revealing, that's what made this album stand out like the most. The original cover of this album shows like a small baby, and the intro of this album actually starts out with like the heartbeat of a child, and then it ends with like a fading heartbeat, so it represents death. You can see like the main concept of this album kind of shows like growing up through the gangster life and then dying because of the gangster life.